Welcome to another Managebac tutorial at ISW. Today we're going to talk about how to add a task. Now the quickest and easiest way of adding a task is to go up to this button which appears on every page of Managebac, and it's called a quick add button. Click on that, you'll see a number of things you can add just very quickly. If I click add assessment task, then I can choose the class I want to add it to, and then I just fill out the details in the boxes here. So I'm going to fill it out. I'm going to use the convention that we use at ISW for naming a task. I'm firstly going to start with the class name, so MP5B, and the subject, IHF, and I'm going to make it a summative task. So I have to decide whether it's going to be one that they're going to mostly work on at home or one that they mostly work on in class. So this one's going to be one they do at home, and then I just write the name of the task. So the task name is going to be Why Lesson Experiences Are Great. Now, there's a couple of other things I need to fill out. I have to fill out a due date. I'm going to make it for Monday, and I have to decide whether it's going to be formative or summative. If this one is going to be a summative task, I also need to choose which unit I'm going to link it to. So I might link it to this one, business and management. When I've chosen my unit, I now have this other drop-down box, which is called lesson experiences. If you want to find out more about lesson experiences, you can see one of my other videos. But basically, they're a way of creating subtopics within a unit, and you can link your assessment tasks to these. So I'm going to link this to marketing plan, and then I'm going to write a brief description. After that, I can add a file. Imagine I've created the task in Microsoft Word, and I want to add the file to the actual task here so the students know what they're going to have to do to score very well in the task. Next up, we have this box called student differentiation. If I click on this, then I get a list of all the students in my class, and then I can choose specific students to allocate this task to. This allows teachers to differentiate in the different tasks that they provide students with. It's it's been around for a couple of years now in Managebac, and I find it pretty useful. Next up, we have the option to choose the criteria. For example, I might click on knowledge and understanding, but imagine if I only wanted to assess the students on strand 1, using terminology. If I only wanted to do that, then I would have to click task specific clarification, and then I can delete the strand which I'm not interested in. If I go back up here and I change it to formative, what you'll notice is there are a number of other assessment options. You can set points just based on the task itself. You can just click on comments. You can also use criteria if it's a formative task, and you can click on this other option, which is called binary. Now, binary allows you to just say whether the child or whether the student completed the task or not. So it's yes, completed, no, has not completed, which is a good way of just keeping track of what students are and are not doing. If I have the summative view, I can only choose between these two options. Local points might be if my exam is out of 50, and I can make that out of 50, then the students will both be able to see what their mark was in points, along with what that translated to in the criteria. Next up, I have this option to allow for coursework submissions. So if the students are submitting something, I can open that up, and that's set to default, as in it's always open. I can also choose to delay when students are able to submit something, which is quite handy if some of your students are very enthusiastic and want to just get things done even before you've explained the task. The next option is what's called a student discussion task, and I'm pretty sure if we go back to make it a formative, that will then allow me to open that up. For some reason in summative, it doesn't allow me to. But this is a way of getting students to maybe discuss something that you talked about in class, or you've posted an interesting article, and you can set the number of posts that each student is required to contribute. If you're setting a summative task that is a hand-in task, then it's really important to click the Turn It In Feedback Studio button. This ensures that Turn It In is on and allows you to check for both plagiarism and AI usage. You can also choose to set your task to a draft if you're not ready to publish it yet. And you can also notify students via email so that you can be doubly sure that they've seen the task that you've set. All right, I'm going to create that task now. So that task has been created. And if I go into look at my lesson experiences now, what I'm going to see is that that task is going to be sitting in my lesson experience. I can't remember exactly where I saved it. I think it might have been marketing plan. Yep, here it is here. So this is the task. It's linked to my lesson experience here. Why lesson experiences are great. And that's the task that I set for the students. So that's about it when it comes to adding a task. I hope this was useful, and good luck with your Managebac usage.